Lost and found. The morning sun filtered through the curtains as I woke up to the sound of rustling in the kitchen. I rubbed the sleep from my eyes, a familiar sense of warmth enveloping me as I remembered that my wife, Emily, was home. She had been my partner for over 5 years, and together we had built a life filled with laughter, shared dreams, and our beloved dog, Max. Max was not just a pet, he was part of our family. His playful spirit and boundless energy brought joy to our lives. But a few days ago, Max had run away during our morning walk, chasing after a squirrel and disappearing into the nearby woods. We searched tirelessly, calling his name and leaving flyers around the neighborhood, but as the days passed, hope began to wane. I walked into the kitchen, where I found Emily on the phone, her expression a mixture of concern and excitement. "Yes, I'll definitely be there. Thank you so much for helping us," she said, her voice animated. "Who's on the phone?" I asked, curiosity piqued. "It's someone who thinks they may have seen Max," she exclaimed, her eyes lighting up with hope. "They live just a few blocks away. I'm heading out to meet them." "Wait, I'll come with you," I said, eager to join the search. "No, it's okay. I'll handle it. You should stay here in case he comes back," Emily replied, her tone reassuring. "I'll text you the details." I watched as she grabbed her jacket and headed out the door. "Be careful," I called after her, hoping that this time we would finally get good news. As the hours passed, I felt a growing sense of anxiety in my chest. I paced the living room, glancing at my phone repeatedly, hoping for any message from Emily. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, I received a text. "I found him. Max is safe." Relief washed over me like a wave, and I quickly typed back, "That's amazing! Where are you?" She responded with a location and a note that she would be home shortly. I couldn't wait to see Max again. I missed him terribly. When Emily finally walked through the door, Max was at her side, wagging his tail furiously, his eyes bright with excitement. I rushed over, kneeling down to hug him. "Buddy! I'm so glad you're home!" I exclaimed, feeling a surge of joy. Emily smiled, relief evident on her face. "It's such a relief to have him back. You won't believe how he ended up with the woman who found him." "What happened?" I asked, still focused on Max, petting him affectionately. "She was so nice. She said she saw him running around in her yard and immediately called me when she found his tag. I think he's had quite the adventure," she said, her eyes sparkling. In that moment, I felt a warm rush of gratitude for Emily and the kindness of strangers. We were all back together, and that was what mattered most. But as the days passed, I began to notice something unsettling in Emily's behavior. She was often lost in thought, her phone buzzing with notifications that she quickly dismissed. I brushed off my suspicions at first, telling myself that it was just the relief of finding Max that had her distracted. One evening, as we settled down to watch a movie, I noticed her phone lighting up repeatedly. "Are you expecting a message?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Oh, it's nothing," she replied, a hint of nervousness creeping into her voice. "Just some group chat about Max's adventures." I frowned, feeling a gnawing sense of unease. "You've seemed different lately. Is everything okay?" "I'm fine. Just a bit tired," she said, avoiding eye contact. The next day, while Emily was out running errands, I felt an overwhelming urge to check her phone. I knew it was wrong, but the anxiety gnawed at me, and my instincts told me something was off. I picked up her phone and scrolled through her messages. At first, it was all harmless chatter among friends, but then I stumbled upon a thread that made my heart race. It was a conversation with the woman who had found Max, a woman named Sarah. The messages started innocently enough, thanking each other for finding the dog, discussing his adventures. But as I scrolled further, my heart sank. There were flirty emojis and inside jokes that made it clear there was more to their relationship than just a shared love for Max. My stomach twisted in knots as I read Sarah's message. "I can't believe how much fun we had together. Let's meet again soon." Panic surged through me. I felt sick as I realized that Emily had not only maintained contact with this woman, but she had also formed a connection that felt far too intimate for my comfort. Just then, the front door opened, and Emily walked in, her smile fading when she saw the expression on my face. "What's wrong? I need you to be honest with me," I said, my voice trembling with hurt. "Is there something going on between you and Sarah?" Her eyes widened, and she opened her mouth to respond, but the words seemed to escape her. "It's not what you think. I swear we were just talking about Max." "Talking about Max?" I repeated, my heart racing. "Because it looks like there's more than that going on in your messages." "John, please. I didn't mean for it to happen," she said, her voice breaking. "We were just connecting over finding him. It didn't mean anything, I swear." "Connecting? It looks like you were flirting," I shot back, the pain in my chest tightening. "How could you betray my trust like this?" I was feeling overwhelmed. I thought I could reach out to someone who understood what I was going through, but I never meant to hurt you," she pleaded, tears filling her eyes. "You should have come to me, Emily. You should have talked to me about how you were feeling," I shouted, feeling the anger boil over. "I know. I messed up, and I'm so sorry," she cried, collapsing onto the couch. "I love you, and I don't want to lose you." As I watched her break down, I felt torn. I still loved her, but the betrayal felt too raw, too fresh to ignore. "How can I trust you again?" I asked, my voice thick with emotion. "I'll do whatever it takes," she replied, her voice filled with desperation. "I'll cut all ties with Sarah. I'll be completely honest with you. I want to fix this." I took a deep breath, trying to process everything. I knew rebuilding trust would take time, and I wasn't sure how to move forward. "I need space to think," I finally said, my heart aching. "This is too much for me right now." Emily nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I understand. Just please don't shut me out completely. I want to show you that I'm committed to our marriage." As I stepped away, I felt the weight of the situation pressing down on me. I needed time to gather my thoughts and figure out what this meant for us. The road ahead was uncertain, but I hoped we could navigate the pain together. In the days that followed, I found myself grappling with a whirlwind of emotions. I confided in friends, sharing the hurt and confusion that lingered in my heart. Their support helped, but the memories of betrayal were hard to shake. Emily tried her best to prove her commitment. She reached out to Sarah, cutting ties and making it clear that she wanted to focus on us. But the scars of betrayal remained, and I struggled to reconcile the woman I loved with the pain of what had transpired. Eventually, we returned to therapy, hoping to find a way to address the damage that had been done. Each session forced us to confront our feelings head-on, and I realized that both of us had insecurities that needed addressing. During one session, Emily opened up about how she had been feeling overwhelmed by the pressures of work and life, which had led her to seek comfort in someone else. "I thought I could find support elsewhere, but I only ended up hurting the person I love the most," she admitted, her voice trembling. "I can understand feeling lost, but that doesn't excuse what happened," I replied, my heart heavy. "Trust has to be rebuilt, and I need to know that I can rely on you. I'm committed to making this work," she said earnestly. "I love you, and I don't want to lose you again. I'll be transparent, and I promise to communicate better." As the weeks went on, we continued to work on our relationship, learning to navigate the complexities of love and trust. Slowly but surely, the wounds began to heal. We found joy in the small moments and began to rediscover the connection we had once shared. One evening, as we sat on the couch watching the sunset through our window, I turned to Emily, taking her hands in mine. "I'm grateful for how far we've come," I said softly. "We've faced so much, but I believe in us." "I believe in us too," she replied, her eyes shining with determination. "I'll always fight for our love, no matter what." As we leaned in for a kiss, I felt a renewed sense of hope. The journey we had taken was far from easy, but it had strengthened our bond in ways I never imagined possible. Together, we had faced the darkness and emerged stronger, ready to embrace the future hand in hand. With each passing day, our relationship continued to flourish. Emily's dedication to rebuilding our trust was evident in her actions and words. We made a conscious effort to communicate openly, sharing our thoughts, fears, and dreams without hesitation. As time went on, the pain of betrayal became less of a shadow hanging over us and more of a lesson learned. We took trips together, explored new hobbies, and rediscovered the joy of simply being in each other's company. Our laughter echoed through our home once again, reminding us both of the love that had brought us together in the first place. One sunny afternoon, as we were preparing for a weekend getaway, I looked at Emily and saw the woman I had fallen in love with all those years ago. Her smile was genuine, her eyes bright with enthusiasm. "I'm really excited about this trip," I said, a smile spreading across my face. "It feels like a fresh start for us." "Me too," she replied, her voice filled with warmth. "I can't wait to make new memories together." That weekend, we went to a quaint cabin by the lake, surrounded by nature's beauty. As we hiked through the trails and sat by the water, I felt a deep sense of contentment. We talked about our hopes for the future, our shared dreams, and the life we wanted to build together. On the last night of our trip, as we sat by the fire, the crackling flames casting a warm glow around us, I turned to Emily. "I just want you to know how proud I am of you for working through this with me," I said, sincerity in my voice. "It hasn't been easy, but I can see how much you've grown. Thank you for believing in me," she replied, her eyes shimmering with gratitude. "I've learned so much about myself, and what our relationship means to me. I'll never take it for granted again." As we leaned in closer, sharing a tender kiss under the starry sky, I felt a profound sense of peace. The journey we had taken together was a testament to our resilience and love. We had faced challenges that could have torn us apart, yet we emerged stronger, more united than ever. When we returned home, I knew that while the scars of the past would always be part of our story, they didn't define us. Instead, they became a reminder of the strength of our commitment and the depth of our love. As we settled into our routine, I felt a sense of hope for the future. Together, we had transformed a moment of betrayal into an opportunity for growth, learning to cherish each other and the life we were building. And as we continued to walk this path together, I knew that love was not just about the absence of hurt, but about the willingness to forgive, to learn, and to grow together. With every day that passed, we embraced the beauty of our imperfect journey, ready to face whatever came next, together.